What is up, guys? Taking a break again from the GTI today, but do not worry, got some exciting things coming up in an upcoming video for you guys on that. But today, on the GLI, once again, getting it ready just to take the Wookies in the woods. We have some rather major problems I'm having with the car, so really got to focus on this thing and get it fixed. Gonna hopefully diagnose those problems and also put valve cover on it today and just check up on a bunch of maintenance things. Absolutely awesome day here in Pennsylvania, and I just want to be out. I'm so pumped for car meets and things, but we gotta get some things done here. So like I mentioned, got valve cover gasket going on there. It has just been leaking for probably, I don't know, 6 months or something. Just been slow leak, or even longer, but hardly anything. Like my oil level stays the same, and so I haven't really been worried, but started using a little bit more lately, so I was like, I gotta do it. And on last Sunday afternoon, which we were out, just put the blow-off valve on it the day before, and we were out getting some shots and videos of it, and ended up not being able to do much with it. Was up on some mountain roads, pushing the car really hard, parked the car, and just smoke starts rolling out from underneath the hood. So right away, like, we got a problem here, boys. So right away, checked it out, and you could see there's just oil still laying down in there. Just coming off the top of the valve cover. And yeah, you could just see it bubbling down in there, and mainly it was on the back side there at the exhaust. The exhaust was just burning it, so it actually wasn't near as bad as I thought. Just the smoke made it look really bad. And so right away, we're like, okay, for sure this needs to get fixed like now. Which I've driven it back and forth every day this week to like 3 miles to work, so not far, but my oil level and everything's staying the same, so it's not really that bad. But big concern here on the coolant reservoir, that at the same time when it was smoking, this thing was like bubbling like crazy. Yeah, so right away I was like, oh man, that's not cool. I'm not really sure. I'm hoping that there's some kind of connection that doing my valve cover fixes it, but there's zero reason that should. So right away I was like, okay, like probably bad head gasket. This thing has 198,000 miles on it, and I have like no idea if it was ever done or not. Like previous owner didn't know or anything, so probably not ever done. I don't know. Crazy thing here, which hopefully I'm thinking that there's something else going on here. Coolant level is staying consistent, and it's also staying clean. Same with like the oil, which like our fluids aren't mixing, so that is a very good sign. But that's why we're gonna stick the valve cover gasket in here today, and we're gonna go drive this thing pretty hard the next few days, just because if we got problems here, we gotta get it worked out, because this car better be able to make it to Wookies in the woods. So it's gonna be my first time down there. I'm just super stoked, so gotta get these things figured out. So we're gonna jump in today and we're gonna see what we find. Another thing I'm gonna mention, got a spare coil here. We're gonna pull all of them, look at plugs. Super crazy. I put like 35,000 miles on this car since I've owned it, and never even looked at the spark plugs. Never had to replace a coil. I know you guys are like, what, a Volkswagen? Yeah, I know, it's crazy, but like never had to touch them. So we're gonna take a spare one to Wookies in the woods, but I'm gonna pull them because I have a feeling these spark plugs are gonna be disgusting. So yeah, let's dig in and get started and see what we figure out today. Oh my word. Pretty clean. Some oil. All the oil. Can't even see the spark plug. There's so much oil down there. I just showed you guys what I did here. Obviously pulled all the coils out, and you guys saw it, they were super oily. Like, I'm just amazed at how well this car is running under the circumstances. So definitely time, because especially that inner gasket that goes around like the plugs and the coils there, that one there was just gone. So yeah, definitely very good for doing this. You guys can see, like, I just broke the gasket pulling out. It's just so old and hard and brittle. Like, definitely time to do that. So showing you guys this here. So you guys saw there was a ton of oil just sitting there around the plugs, which I did not want to just pull my plugs out and have all that crap just run down into the cylinder. So you guys saw me there. Basically, I sprayed some brake cleaner in there, basically to loosen everything up because it was kind of sludgy. And I was just taking the air hose, blowing in there with a rag to kind of basically take everything out. And I did it several times. I let it soak a little bit, basically just using the brake cleaner to loosen it up and make it really runny so it came right out easily. And yeah, you gotta be careful with your rag to make so you don't make a mess. But it worked really well. I actually got pretty much all of the oil out. That it wasn't quite dry, but the worst of it was out. So that's really sweet. So pull these out, and you guys saw, yeah, just how much oil was on them. Like it's crazy. So showing you guys the plugs here. Overall, considering I didn't touch them, I mean, they're not horrible. You guys can see definitely very oily. So yeah, definitely doing them. And also you guys can see the tips on there are not much of a tip anymore, and they got big gaps. So definitely gonna run and get some now. Gonna also run and get some gasket maker. Basically you put these gaskets in, and all these corners right here are your like first places that it's gonna leak. So just gonna put a little dab in there. Got that all cleaned off. It really cleaned up really nice. Just took some brake cleaner over that, and it cleaned up really nice. So yeah, gonna run and get that stuff, and then we can stick this back together. Just a note, I don't love pulling the plugs when I have this all apart. I'm just doing it because they both need done at the same time. So when I run away here, I'm gonna cover everything up here with the rag. Just a note, I wouldn't totally recommend having your plugs out when you're doing this, just because which this was pretty clean, but if you have to clean much, it's not cool having your plugs out and you're cleaning, and you could easily get something down in the cylinder. So just a note there, be super careful. So yeah, I'm gonna cover this up, and we're gonna go grab plugs and some gasket maker and get back here and put this back together. Valve cover is on there, and yeah, like I mentioned before, you guys saw me putting some gasket maker there in all the corners where it's best to do that. I also use some of this silicone grease here. I just very lightly, not much at all, just took that over the whole gasket before I put that in. It should help the gasket last longer, whereas that one there just got really hard, and they just get hard and brittle as they age, and this here is going to keep it nice and soft and preserved. So did that, we got it all in there. It's all pretty self-explanatory, pretty easy. We got those Denso Iridium spark plugs here. We're going to be gapping them to about 28. The ones I took off were like 60. So yeah, like I mentioned, I can't believe this thing did not misfire. It's crazy. But yeah, we're going to get those in and do that. Always use your copper anti-seize. Whether or not you're going to own the car for a while, you're going to make someone's job miserable if you put them things in there and they're in there for a while. So always do that. We'll get this back together here, and yeah, see how it drives and rip on it and see what happens. Well, it is alive and awesome, and wow, it is an amazing day. I'm super excited for springtime and all the car things that are coming up. But yeah, like I said, it seems awesome. You guys saw a little misfire there a couple times right where I started, a little puff of smoke. That's just all brake cleaner, a little bit of oil down in the cylinders there, but it seems awesome. So yeah, really excited about that. Hopefully we'll have no leakage here, and maybe it'll even run better than it was. Yeah, I actually did check the plugs in to see the gap on the old ones, and they were at 65. I cannot believe that this thing actually ran that great, especially, I mean, it's tuned, pushing, I mean, these things aren't crazy, but it's pushing some decent boost in there. And yeah, can't believe that actually was running fine like that at 65 in the gaps. Yeah, we're at 28 now. It should be awesome. We're gonna drive this thing, probably try and put some good miles on the next few days, push it good, and get the thing good and warm. And hey, we're gonna see what happens. If there's a problem, I want to find it out soon, because yeah, like I said, you gotta get this thing to work even the wood. Alright guys, so valve cover gasket is in the car. That is awesome, but here comes the bad news. So drove the car for a few days, and I had mentioned that there's some like bubbling in the coolant reservoir, and it has been getting worse and worse. The other night I took it up on some mountain roads and just thrashed the car, and we got some insane pressure in there. I cracked it and it just bubbled and bubbled and bubbled. So first thought, head gaskets. So this weekend we're putting head gaskets in the car. Here, come to find out, these cars more likely it's a cracked head. So actually today we got a new head coming in, head gaskets, and we're just gonna go over everything there this weekend. And we got less than a week to prepare for Wookies in the Woods, so it's gonna be a crazy weekend, late nights, and really pounding it out. But hey, I'll be videoing. You guys will see that next video, and hey, hopefully we can still take the car to Wookies in the Woods. So catch you guys then for a crazy weekend.